Hello, back at you one more again. I hope everybody is doing blessed. I'm doing blessed and highly favored, and definitely hope the same for you. And if this is your first time stopping by the channel, much love to you and welcome. And this is going to be my chat for today. I ain't going through all the intro because you've been with me for a while. You already know what I do. So, the discussion topics I'm going for is called "Eye for an Eye." It leaves the world blind, rising rising above the nonsense, giving others the seed that gives visions a chance to see what they need to see. And being selective of transitional mindsets, you become what you think about. Shadow work is a template counterpart that assists nothing, distracts your life, that's reaching new heights. And these are the different things that are taking place right now. A lot of things, it takes place in our life, especially if it's very traumatic, very painful. If it was it's a situation that you can't change, all you can do is just allow yourself to reflect on those things and trying your best to heal. I was listening, what is the song "Everything Must Go" by Janae Aiko today, and all of a sudden I felt this emotion just come up. And a lot of times we can listen to certain things that really can pull strings to the heart. So it was just like listening to what she was saying in the video, in the song. It really, it hits home. But I always loved Janae because it was a lot of different things that she has helped me through with her views of music. So it was just like, eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind is true. A lot of times, when we know that it has been impacted with painful situations that others may have pushed on us, it can get really crazy. I've been there where I wanted to unleash that beast of aggravation and anger and everything else, or I wanted to go ahead and clap back 20 million times more than what that took place for me. But that was my chance for me to be able to allow myself to use my situation and create something very positive about it. Because there's so many different people out here that go throughout the world and feel like, when you have gone through something that really can be traumatic to you and it hits hard, it hits heavy, you feel like it only can go worse from that. Because there's a lot of times, tragedy hits a lot of people, and it can get worse just because of that pain that they're holding on to, or how they see the world, and a lot of times it happens that way. But when you can allow yourself to use certain things that is very heavy, hurtful, whatever, and you allow yourself to create something very positive off of those things, you never know where that blessing can really take you. And a lot of times that can be a part of creating a purpose for you. And those are the things that they really, universe is really wanting us to be heavy on, being able to allow ourselves, getting back eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth, is just going to leave everybody without teeth and you're going to be straight blind in the world. There's too many different things in the world that we can actually create something positive. There's always somebody inflicting toxicity on people. There's also a lot of people that, holds toxicity and just placing, hurt and pain on people that weren't even responsible for the pain that it felt. But they feel like that's an excuse to go ahead and keep doing that. But just being able to use those different things that is taking place, to be able to help you heal in a certain way that is truly needed. So it's just like these are the different things that you're giving yourself that seed to be able to give other people, and these are those things that can really uplift you in a magical way, to be able to let people know, if it's in that due time, for them to understand your story, being able to see how you have faced a lot of dark situations into your life, and you've been hit heavy with a lot of painful situations that came at you all at one time. And those are the ones where we never see that hidden gem of strength being placed in that situation, when you get hit with tragedies in that way. So it's just like with those different things that's taking place, you can really allow yourself to really see what do I need to do to be able to change my life? What do I need to have to take place to take me further? You never know how you can be that initial inspiration towards other people that need that type of inspiration to be able to change their lives. It's always so easy to keep inflicting evil on the world. We don't need to add to it. We need to be those ones that create that change, just taking in, hey sis, how you doing? Girl, I'm still tired. I slept all day yesterday, on and off all day yesterday, and I was like already tired from the day before. So I didn't get to sleep until 4 and had 3 hours of sleep. So yesterday I just slept on and off, and then I took me some serotonin like 3 o'clock this morning and still, stuck. So I was just like, nah, you just got to push through today. How are you? I hope all is well. I hope everything's going good for you. But yeah, there's a lot of different things that are taking place in the world where, we really have to be able to allow ourselves to be assertive about what we choose to heal off of. And it's just like me too, as I'm exhausted, because it was just like me trying to push through today. It's just, just trying to be proactive, really. And it feels good, even though I'm dragging a little bit, because I'm just like, I just like did like four or 5 videos, like back to back to back. And then I started this one. And I was just like, oh, I'm so tired. I'm not going to be on here for a whole hour, but just to be able to, converse like we did last time. But yeah, it's just like been going through that purge, and it makes you feel like you're really dragging. But, when you start purging out a lot of different things and you're trying to fight towards that, because sometimes, you really can go through things and it only takes that one initial, negative vibration that can keep carrying until you allow yourself to say, this ain't a part of me anymore. This is the ego, this is the wound, this is, the devil trying to keep me in a situation I'm not supposed to be in. I'm going to allow myself to separate from this and let God and universe handle whatever they need to handle, and just allow me to keep doing me and be better at whatever I'm trying to do into my life. These are life lessons. To say, yeah, lots of emotions coming up in the past few weeks. Yeah, it is. And a lot of different things is coming up. Like when you're allowing yourself to go through that clarity, I notice a lot of times certain songs will come back to me and I'll go back and listen to it knowing I didn't listen to them since, I woke. And then I come back and all them heavy emotions. It's not heavy, but it was beautiful. And it's just showing me, hey, you're not alone. It's just different things will come up, and it's crazy. I can, be connected with my grandmother and my great grandmother. And next, a song will come on and it's talking about a grandparent. And I'm just like, oh, make me cry all over again. But yeah, we're getting those seeds where we're passing, to everybody else to give that vision, and it's just like I've said before, being an empath can be a blessing and a curse, be a person that's in the spiritual visual, seeing different things that you can accomplish throughout those, that heavy shadow work of, forgiveness, forgiving yourself, projecting out positivity. And these are those things that you can see, and that's what the thing about the world is. You tend to get a lot of visions that other people neglect to want to see. And you're giving, that time to where it's just like you can't force that seed on nobody. You can just say, here, this is your seed of, insight. This is your seed of love. Your consciousness is trying to wake you into your conscious, and allow you to do it wherever you see fit. A lot of times we're in people's lives that are very, imbalanced, as well as ourselves. They're very, it can be very negative. It can be very toxic. And sometimes we feel like we're in situations for us to help them heal. And it's like, it's not about that. You can give somebody insight, but you can't force somebody to heal. It's not wanting to do that. Because there's, there are certain times that people are just scared to do that because there's a lot of things that they're not wanting to admit to. They don't want to be honest with themselves about that. And that's something you can't make nobody do. You can just say, hey, here's a seed. I'm going to let it do what it do and just keep allowing myself to go. There's no point on you trying to heal anybody who is not willing to do that. And those are the things that that we're going through right now. It's like you can share so much about your experience if it's, if that's what's guiding, universe is guiding you to be able to share your experience with people and just be able to show them, because some people feel like you can't come back after a painful situation into your life, and I've seen so many different people, not even, it is just connecting on that heaviness of pain, whatever you're dealing with. And I've seen so many people that can go through the worst of the worst, and then they end up barking on something that actually placed them on their purpose. Because a lot of times we can really go through some stuff, and it can really mess you up, like in a very deep way. I was watching one of these TikTok compilation. I can't remember what it was, but it was like very emotional, had me just crying, and a woman went through, domestic V, and she was showing a picture of, herself, on that last situation where it was very violent, and she ended up allowing herself to go into the academy and end up being a police officer, to help people that go through those different things. Or, I've mentioned the what's her name, Elizabeth Short situation when she was at, and going through that, and just being able to hear her story, it touched me in that deep way. And next thing you know, she's playing, not playing, but she's an advocate towards people, going through kidnapping situations, being able to help them start their lives over again. And she's like, I think it's like a journalist for Crime Daily and other different things that has something to do with crime. That girl went through so much stuff. It was just like hearing it, it hit me in a very deep way. A lot of things that she went through, I can really relate to. And she just thought she was going to end up, transitioning in that situation. And, she felt like God gave up on her. And next thing you know, this happened. And then she wanted to be that person, that advocate, as well as the ones where Fernando Castro, whatever that dude name is, the connect, that took all them girls and had them for years, and then they were doing stuff like that. So you just really never know where your path may lead you, going through the harshness of your reality of trying to, really allow yourself to part ways with, the painful events in your life. Sometimes it could be really fresh and you don't see how you're going to find a way out on those different things, but eventually it will get there, if you allow yourself to get that chance to be able to do that. So it's just like being able to pass that seed of knowledge, to be able to help people that rise above different things that has really taken place into their life, for them to be able to be that visionary for themselves, for you to be able to do that. Because right now we are those ones that was placed on the platform to be able to, break curses and cycles and stuff like that. You had to go through, there's a lot of us that had to go through some very treacherous different things, and being able to come back a lot stronger than you were before. And those are the things that, the devil don't want you to do. Your enemies don't want you to do. They want you to stay bitter. They want you to feel like you have to self-medicate, or, you can't heal from these things. They don't want you to, but these are those times to say, look, this is my life and this is my journey. I can do whatever I see fit with it. I can take it in a very negative standpoint, make my life a living hell, worse than it already is. I'll allow myself to really self-reflect, heal where I need to get from, and bring that energy that I want to project towards that world, being able to show you, look, this is my life. This is what I went through. You can give as many excuses of, like I've said, it's easy for you to do things and just be volatile, and you project that energy on people that didn't cause that. There's so many people that are doing that these days. But then when you can use your situation and make yourself better, but not just yourself, but somebody that's struggling through certain things that you have overcome, your life story, your experience can be a cheat sheet for somebody else that's still in that survival mode. And universe is wanting us to get out that survival mode. We've been in survival mode for a long time. Now they want us to be able to live. They want us to be able to love our experience. And a lot of times it's hard for those things to really happen when you're dealing with so many hectic situations. And a lot of times it could be just with yourself on how you choose to, let go of those situations, or how you choose to see them, or what what you constantly allow yourself to keep your thoughts and your emotions on. So being able to do that, you can create something just for yourself that's taking place just for that power of growth for you. So, allow yourself to place that seed out to the world, because you never know who can be able to, really benefit off of that situation of what you have gone through, what you have overcome, what, you can really allow yourself to really grow through. And the next one is like being selective on your transitional mindset. You become what you think about. This is at that time. Hello. Philosopher. Hey, how are you doing? I'm gonna just call you philosopher. I don't want to mess up your first name, so I know people get offended about that. How are you doing? Thanks for stopping in. But yeah, it's like being selective about your transitional mindset. That we're going through a huge experience of transition, and those are it is really hard to do, to be able at times, depending on what you're facing at that time, to be able to not think about the pain that you have gone through, being angry with yourself because you didn't see it, or being angry with yourself because you don't want to be in that negative vibration. But a lot of times you don't realize, these are the situations you have to allow yourself to have that pain for a minute. They always tell you, you can go through depression, you can go through sadness, you can go through anger, but don't allow yourself to plant that vibration in you. Do not stay that way, but allow yourself to be able to move on. These are the things that, you can't, it's out of your control, but allow yourself to be able to learn for those facts. They always tell you to forgive, but never forget the lessons behind it. And a lot of times it's hard for you to forgive certain people in certain situations, especially if it hits you in a very deep place. But these are those times where you have to be selective on different things that you tend to watch, or you tend to read, tend to listen to, because you become those different things. I used to watch, different times I felt like my life hasn't changed really at all. And that was that vibration, because I was so tired of being in the situation I was in. But then I see the different things that I'm very selective about. When I allow myself to see something's not working out for me, I'm allowing myself to peel up out of it real quick. Or if I see different things that's going on in my life while communicating with others, and I see that it's not going in my higher vibrations, it's keeping me at a low frequencies, I disconnect so quick. Or different things that I used to choose to, allow myself to be entertained by. There's a lot of different things that I cringe if I watch it. I used to go back in the day watching World Star Hip Hop, or, one of those talk shows like Jenny Jones, and who else was it? Sally something. It's like painful things are experience, not a definition. It is. It's true. You are so right. Yeah. It's just like, but people allow, at times people choose to allow that to define them. And you are not what you have went through. You're the one who conquers it. And I always tell people, you are not that, you're not that victim of that. And a lot of times it's hard for us not to associate with ourselves being a victim, because we're like, oh, this person did this, they did that, we did this, they did that. And it's like, yeah, these things is happen, and I understand the pain that you carry, but this is not going to be a part of your life. You're going to allow yourself to overcome those different things, because a lot of times those become the part of our purpose on being able to go. And these are those things that you can be able to allow yourself to know. When you allow yourself to place yourself in whatever you tend to listen to. They even say music, the music, that even certain things can make you want to fight. I've seen different songs that, I've heard different songs, like when we be in the club or something like that, it'll come up on, I'll be there every time it do. It'll be one of those songs like Tear the Club Up or something like that, and literally people start fighting. So it's just like, you have to be very selective of what you choose to entertain, especially if you're going through this growth of change anyway. There'll be like a certain song, I love the beat to it, or I love the vocals on it, and it's just like I can go off and sing, and I'm like, man, I don't even relate to this song anymore. And I'll notice that just when I start singing, I'm like, yeah, it's a good song, but dang, I don't even relate to that no more. Or certain songs that I know, they'll put me in a big mood, like it's very fast and it's very heavy. But then it's like, girl, why are you listening to that? That's like demeaning women or something like that, but it'll be just like, damn, I'm not relating to that, but I just like the hook on it, or I like the beat to it. And you're just like, no, but you're embodying that. You need to stop. So they're always telling you, be careful what you allow yourself to attach to. You just don't know what you're embodying on those. I had to stop. You had to slow down. And it was just like some of these crime show channels that I really like, especially with different things that's going on, because I always wanted to be one of those profilers, I forgot what they call it, detective profilers, when you see what caused the death or what caused this crime to happen and different stuff like that. I had to ease back on that because I was starting to embody that a lot. But it's just all about how you stimulate your mind on what things have happened, because when you're, an empath that carries certain gifts. Hey, Miranda, sorry my phone died. It's okay. It's okay. Do you feel the same way about TV? Yes. I don't watch certain shows like, I used to watch Cheaters with my friends and stuff like that. And I felt bad for those people. I cringe at it if I watch stuff like that. And it's just like, why are you doing that? You used to watch this. The fact is, these people are getting cheated on. This is not entertaining. It's very sad, and it's more sad and embarrassing when somebody got to see this on TV. I said, I don't like watching stuff like that. I experienced that. I'm just so glad it wasn't on display like that. So I can't watch like those, Stephen Wilkos or Jerry Springer or anything like that. I can't do it. Yeah, I used to be obsessed with the 90-Day Fiancé. Girl, I never watched that. I never watched like The Bachelor. I didn't watch that. Like I used to watch when they had MTV. Is like I love New York. I love Flavor Flav because I just think those things were really funny. But you can't get me to watch that. Or even when MTV Real World was on, I just can't watch it because the last one I had, I forgot what his name was. Oh my gosh, I can't remember what it was. It was so sad because he passed away of AIDS. And that was a long time ago. I don't know if it was Pedro or something like that, but he was very sweet and I couldn't watch it after that. It got so depressing. But, I had to stop watching those different things from all that stuff because, it's just like they always say, you are what you watch, you are what you eat, and those are the things you have to allow yourself to really be selective of, especially when you're going through these very intense changes. You just don't want to embody those things that, universe and God has taken out of your life. They don't want you to do that. And a lot of times, if you don't feel like your life has changed a lot and you're still stuck in situations, because maybe, either it's that situation you're not allowing yourself to forgive, you're not allowing yourself to let go, you're not allowing yourself to really see the positive out of that negative circumstance into your life, or it is just, or certain things that still need to be learned, for you to be able to disconnect from that situation. Because there's a lot of times you get in a situation that is very heavy, especially like these karmic cycles, because, if you like me, I'm that type of person, look, if this is going to make me start fighting you or instead having mental funerals of you, I got to go. And it's just like these situations, you can't keep running from those things. They want you to be able to heal from them, being able to learn it. It can be very aggravating. It can be very draining. It can put you in energy that you really feel volatile towards other people, especially if it's very, abusive. So it's just like, these are those things that strengthen you because you can't run from your back against the wall. And that's where the extra strength comes from when you have to live in the same household or you have to be around that person 24/7. And those are the things that's showing you, even when it's somebody who's very narcissistic, and certain ones, like when it gets to that point where it gets volatile, I really think you need to get out of it. Like when you start putting hands on each other, that's dangerous because there's a lot of times, stuff will happen where one of the person's gonna leave in a body bag, and that's not good. But if it's one of those ones that's just more mental and emotional, even though you have to be able to, distance yourself or even part ways with, a lot of times God will give you that go ahead. Yeah, that was like the one guy I've been talking to, and I've been seeing red flags, and I'm like, okay, let me piece out. You okay? Don't say you seen the red flags. You better not ignore that mess. Then wondering why you end up getting like somebody like, what is that movie called? Enough with J-Lo in it, or what was that other one? Sleeping with the Enemy and junk. No. It was like, no, I ain't going to do all that. But yeah, those are different things, because it's like when you're dealing with certain things like that, universe will either take you out of that situation or have that person taken out of it, that's going against you like that. But there's a lot of times they will make you stay into that situation. Yeah, I've watched that movie once. Which one? You talking about with J-Lo, or you talking about the one Sleeping with the Enemy? I think I had Julia Roberts in it. I ain't seen that movie in years. But that one Enough, I was so happy when she got him back. I mean, homegirl had me laughing at her because she was just, she allowed herself to blindfold herself and went through the house like in case something happened. She know her way around in the darkness and stuff. I'm like, that's a good thing. So, yeah, it's just like going through certain things like that. It's sad. Yeah, Sleeping with the Enemy. But, going through all those different things, it can really make you not trust a lot of people. I get it. I've been there. I'm still like that. I'm very shifty when it comes to certain people. And I just don't allow myself to associate. Some people take offense of it, and I said, this ain't about you, this is protection of me. And if you get mad because I'm telling you certain things I ain't gonna talk about, certain things I ain't gonna do, you get mad, that lets me know you were in my life to try to manipulate anyway. So I'm glad I said what I said, because that showed me where your mindset is at. So I'm like, hey, I ain't get mad, but I'm glad you did that. So yeah, there's a lot of different things where it's telling you you can't keep doing the same things you were doing before, and they want you to be able to, separate yourself from those things. And it's just like, a lot of times you may feel like your situation is not changing, but actually it is. It's changing you, because a lot of times we feel like we're supposed to figure something out to change, in that situation. Like, what is this, synopsis, or the subliminal messages on my experience of life. And then it's just showing you a lot of times your situation, you ain't supposed to change, it's supposed to change you. And it takes a while to be able to do that. So just see a picture of my dad and mess popped up. That was funny. And it's like your shadow work is a template of counterparts that assists, nothing distracts your light, and that's reaching new heights. It's like, you're using those different things that's going on into your life that is really truly therapeutic to you, but sometimes it may not feel that way. It's just all about what you choose to do, and it's just like holding that definition of it is supposed to be just like that. It's like a copy of showing you, what's going on into your life. And it's like where it's just helping you get onto that, that new frequency of yourself, that higher level of yourself. Because, it's just like the further you get through in your line, yeah, it is so hard sometimes to see. And they can be so sweet and nice, and then just waiting for you to take advantage. It is. And it's just a lot of things that'll come into your life that's there to be able to guide you towards that, or just that little thing that's just showing you got this, you can do this, especially when you're going through a very heaviness in your on your path that time. Because it's like you're going through that change, because I've said it before, if you can get used to being accustomed at certain frequencies for a long period of time, or your thought process is going towards that certain frequency a long period of time, and you're trying to allow yourself to get out of that old sequence, it can be very hard. But there's a lot of different things will come into your life and be like that outside source to be able to show you, hey, this person's been through that, it's not easy to be able to do, but this is going to be that thing that's going to be well worth it for yourself. And it's like that counterpart is a person or a thing holding a position of performing function that corresponds. It's like that for another person or a thing or a place, and those are the things that's good for that. There's a lot of people I've connected with that, the gifts I have, I usually tend to meet a lot of people, and not all of them that, connect with me on that time, but, they're going into a situation where they're going through a divorce, they're going through a bad breakup, all these different things where it just took them to the edge, and they just so happened to connect with me at that time for me to be able to help them through that. Or it could be vice versa. I'm going through something, and there'll be somebody I know that has already overcome the certain things that I may be still facing, and just being able to connect with that person. And it's just like, when I see my life, it's just like, in a lot of other people that may be doing that too, is connecting with other people. It reminds me of the show that I used to watch with my mom back in the day, called Highway to Heaven, with Michael Landon and I forgot what Victor French. I used to love that show, and God rest both of them. When they were in people's lives, and the post been helping them, make their lives better on different things that they may be facing or maybe going through. And these are those things that you're helping yourself get through. And shadow work is not something that's easy to do. It really isn't, because they always tell you get happy. Get heavy within going through that work of shadow work, because it can be very intense, because you have to allow yourself to be accountable for certain things that's going on in your life. They say don't take all responsibility where it doesn't revolve around you. Because a lot of times, especially if we're into those situations like toxic bonds and stuff like that, we'll give excuses on the reason why certain things the way it is, and not actually saying, hey, this person I'm connecting with is very toxic. You're allowing shadow work to be very into, girl, please, you already know. You already know. But yeah, it's just it can get very crazy at times, because I've been doing that a lot, and it's not easy to be able to do, because there's times I'll get very mad, I'll start popping off, and there'll be times I'll get very depressed, but then I'll have this emotion of gratitude, because that shows you strength. And a lot of people feel that's weakness for you to allow certain things to affect you that you're facing in life. No, that is a very big strength, because you're allowing yourself to face certain things that people will haul butt for. They will go the other way, like, I'm not about to think about that. That's gonna have me this gonna have me that, this gonna have me this. And it's, you have to be able to do that. If you want your life to be better, you have to get to that source on why you tick the way you do. There are certain people I know out here that, do a lot of different things towards other people. And instead of, you want to unleash this on people, not realizing this is going to create hell in your own life. If you're not allowing yourself, you just keep constantly taking this on to other people's lives, instead you get into the root of the pain that you have. Being able to discuss with that person, if you're going through certain things where you have mommy and daddy issues, if you can be able to allow yourself to just even feed through those. Is that, do you use your intuition to avoid toxic people? Yes, I do. There's a lot of different like people, it has to come to that connection so you can be able to see, because a lot of times you can connect with a person and not really being able to feel it out. And some people are just, there, and you can feel it, because you'll start stumbling over your words, especially if you're not a person that stumbles over words, or you feel, weird when you're talking to them, because a lot of times that's hit like that. But there's a lot of different people that I've connected with, and I had different experiences. And, at first I was very angry, because they were in my lives for wrong reasons, and they were trying to figure out how they can destroy me in some kind of way. But I had to allow myself to not take that personal. They came into my life to show me what I need to be aware of, and what I need to, I need to allow myself to, the intuitive, and that intuition is telling you, hey, if there's some things that you just feel like, there's something about that person I just really don't know about, I can't put my finger on. And that's usually telling people you need to get out that situation quick. If you can't put your finger on it and it's something kind of weird and shifty, that's telling you there's something about that person that they're trying to cloak from you. And I felt it, here, on my channel, when different people have dropped in, or there are certain people that I've connected with in the past, and I was just like, why are you overly trying to support me on different things? And just coming to find out, you connecting with somebody that's trying to destroy me, and I'm just like, let me just step out of this situation. I'm gonna let my deities, my masses, everybody that's, protecting me, I'm gonna allow them to work with you and going about my business. And it shows you different things in your life. You have to be able to appreciate that, because a lot of times we get mad, people do this like that, because you feel like, I would never do that to anybody. And that's where a lot of time where our disappointment is, because we feel like if we treat somebody a certain way, it's a guarantee that that's going to be reciprocated. Not all the time. Some people are going to appreciate that and just, be a reciprocated thing. But there are some people that sees that light in you, that strengthen you, and want to destroy it in any kind of way possible. And I've had people in my life that does that. So, now when I'm going about my situation, I allow myself to really, really take that and let for what it's worth. Hey, that must be a messed up situation to go through. You felt it a lot of times with different people, but this is that thing where you had to be able to go through experiences so you know what to look for. You may not have liked it, may have hurt you, especially when you didn't do anything to those people, and you don't have to. A lot of times it's just they are this the way they are. And sometimes they even show you that's how they are. I've had people say, hey, I'm a little bit of a narcissist and stuff like that. And I'm just like, a lot of times narcissists don't admit they're narcissists. But when that happens, you better believe that mess. When people show you, yeah, it's like that. That was a hard thing to learn, giving and not getting. Yeah, because they always tell you don't like what you're getting, change what you're giving. because there's a lot of times I had to change my way because I was always being available for people. And then when I needed something, they acted all like, oh, I ain't got time, this and this and that. Because I kept showing them I always put myself on the back burner and accommodate other people. Then it was like, okay, that was a good reflection, and that mess hurt deep, but allow myself to not be available towards different things, because people take advantage of that. They don't care how they make you feel. They don't care about how their actions are that makes you feel a certain way. You have to be able to respect that, and it is what it is. It's like, yes, when they show their truth. Yeah. I had to tell a lot of people, when you're going through your darkest moment, you go through your darkest moments, it will show you the true intention about people that you supported, people that you've been there for, people that even when you have done different things, you try to mend it and you try to still be there for them. And then they just start acting saucy and stuff. And those are the things you had to be, when using that quote that Trent Shelton used to always use. If all you have is friendship to offer, and nothing else, see how many people you got in your life when you have nothing to offer them. They can't get benefit off of anything except your friendship. And people want to be a part of that process of you in the limelight, getting the glow up and stuff like that. But you weren't there during that time of that process I was going through. So if you're not there, you have no reason to be a part of my life when good things are there, because you weren't there. You showed your butt, during the times when I really needed you. And it was just like, it can hurt deep. It can really hurt deep. But those are the things that need to show you. And Universal do that. It's like if they're placing you on that vibration of where your life is going to be big, or it's going to be meaningful to you. It can be in any form meaningful. They need to show you the people in your life that you need to totally disconnect from, no matter who it is, family, especially if it's situations like mine. You got your older kids and you just constantly bumping heads. And if sometimes it hurts deep. When it comes to children, you have to disconnect from them. And then, if the universe feels like those needs are going to be met and things are going to change, and let it go on in its own course. But just allow yourself to disconnect from that and just allow yourself to heal. So there's a lot of different things that's going around where, sometimes we still connect with people and we feel like it is family. We need to stay in that, we have a choice. We don't have a choice when it's that. That's a whole lie. Biological, adopted, my situation, I don't talk to nobody in my family unless they have passed over, or, my father, and he's passed over as well. Those are the only people that is biologically in my life other than my adopted mom, and I'm good with that. Everybody else is like, Roslynn, has to be lonely. Yeah, it's lonely, but at least I know where you fit into that equation when it comes to me, not hold no, grudges or anything like that, but just allow myself, I don't need you in my life. I'm good. I'm totally good. But yeah, it's just facing, that shadow work, it tends to bring you strength you didn't know you needed, or just reminds you of that strength that you never knew you had. And those are the things, it can be tough, because it's just like, there's a lot of people that are going through that where they're telling you need to be in solitude. Like, I hate being by myself. I can't talk to my friends on the phone. I can't interact and this and this and that. I got to be by myself. And it's just that time. You don't need any outside source distractions. When you're healing, you don't need to vent to vent to anybody, because a lot of times people are going through their own stuff and they've already feel some type of way about you anyway. They're going to make sure that mess goes worse than that. So they always tell you a lot of times, keep your issues, what you're going through, to yourself. Yeah. And it's like, if anybody asks you, hey, I'm good, it's all good, I'm right. Because people will be hoping you tell them something so they can wish that mess more on you. And I understand that. I was always afraid to be in solitude, but it always turns into gratitude. It was, because it was like, right. I think I was on my massive spiritual awakening, because you go through so many different ones. And it was like when I was going through that, and I just had my hysterectomy. I just went through, not intense cancer, but, they found some in my system. So I was going through all these different medications, and I had to go through a hysterectomy. So my hormones were already enraged, and not knowing that I had empathic gifts at that time, because I used to see a lot of different things where people thought I was crazy. They poked fun of me. People I really trusted, used those different things that I talked to them about and used it against me. And it was always scary for me to be to myself because I didn't like my thoughts, and not knowing that was an actual gift to me because I didn't understand what was going on. Now I'm like, shoot, I like it by myself. It can get lonely at times, but I'd rather be there, be by myself than be around people that don't like me. I've had to deal with that, and it doesn't feel good, but then it's just like, at least you can be true to your own self. You can't guarantee that with everybody else, and sometimes it takes you that time to be by yourself so you can really be able to see past a lot of different things that's going on in your life you may not have been able to see before, and you'll see it now. So it's just like all these different things are taking place where you're doing intense purging, you're cutting cords, you're bringing the archangels to wherever you need at that time to help you disconnect from whatever is not serving you anymore. Being able to allow yourself to appreciate everything you have faced, showing gratitude. A lot of times it's hard to do that, especially if it depends on the situation you're really going through. And that can be very tiring. But when it gets to that point where you have healed, your history of pain will bring that story to set you free, because you're no longer allowing yourself to be bounded by your personal situation to try to destroy you. Universe use it for one thing to try to uplift you, but the devil will put you on there to create something very, very bad, very dark. So, but y'all, I'm about to get off of this chat. When I say I'm so daggone tired, and all this purging I'm doing is make me feel drained. So I appreciate for y'all coming in and dropping your comments so we can have something to converse about. It's truly appreciated. But I hope y'all have a blessed weekend, and be safe and responsible with everything you do. All right, love y'all. Bye.